Okay. So, hi everybody. Happy lunchtime. It's really the middle of the week, isn't it? Middle of the day and the middle of the week. So, hopefully, if we get a few more people joining up because we had some more registrations. Um, but I just wanted to say thank you all for coming, and thank you for Manish and Jitan who are going to talk us through their offering. Um, so we're going to record the session, so just to let everybody know, and let me know if you've got any issues with that, but hopefully you're all fine. And just welcome all to today's Lunch and Learn. So what we're going to do, I'm going to hand over to Manish and Jiten, and they're going to talk through their presentation. And we'd ask that, and we try and keep all the questions to the end, so we're going to have a bit of a chat at the end. So if you've got questions as they go through, if you could either write them in the chat and we can refer to them later, or write them down so you can come and turn your mic on and ask it to them directly, then that would be fantastic. So without further ado, I'll hand over to you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So before I dive in, just a quick introduction. Hi, I'm Manish. I work on the growth side of the business of Flowres. I have with me my founder, Jiten, who started this company a couple of years ago and has been a qualitative researcher basically. So he brings the qualitative research into this whole platform, his own experience. Just confirm to me when you guys are able to see my screen. I have shared it. It's got a short
Yeah,
presentation.
we can see it. I think I can see it.
Okay, perfect. So let's get cracking. So, like I said, I'm Manish, and today we'll talk about the qualitative research workflow a bit, right? So, moment, slides are navigating as always. So, we all know, I know, anecdotally and through research that Zoom is still dominant in the online qualitative data collection space, right? They have been in use by organizations for much longer, and perhaps because bespoke platforms are expensive and involve a learning curve, uh, their adoption has not been as high. Uh, but Zoom is not designed for qual research, right? An observer can join the meeting with the participant, but that's going to affect the participant. And then the Zoom webinar is another way it is being used, but that requires using other tools to take care of the chats with the moderator, right? Again, generic LLMs, a lot of you will have already tried them or actually actively using them, right? And they're amazing. But are they really designed to
Manish,
handle quality? Yeah. Yes.
no, I lost you for a second. Maybe it was just me. Sorry, go on.
Okay, sorry. So they are amazing, but are they really designed to handle qualitative research? Is the question we need to ask, right? After all, because analysis is not just about summarizing, right? And it always needs validation. So when we tested these thoroughly, and we found that there are a few things that you could not do with the generic LLMs. One of the thing is you could not assign metadata to the transcript files. So things like younger, older, or United States, Germany, those were metadata tags that you couldn't just assign on these LLMs. Then as researchers, you want to validate right down to the actual quote from where the inferences are being drawn. And that sometimes is not possible with these LLM interfaces. We found that you could get to the file, but not to the actual quote. And then again, you have to do a lot of prompting to make sure that you can elicit the response that you actually need. And finally, we all know, right? Obviously you love Zoom, your participants love Zoom, and all that is fine, but the qual research workflow itself involves multiple handoffs between the recruiter, the project manager, the transcribers, the analysts, and researchers. And that's a lot of coordination overhead, and your inboxes are testimony to the amount of coordination that you end up doing, right? So what I tried to do with these 2 3 slides was kind of establish that there is still a problem that we are facing in qualitative research in some shape and form, and I would love to tell you how Flores helps in addressing those issues, right? So fundamentally what Flores does is it piggybacks on top of your Zoom and even your Teams and your Meet, and provides a separated client backroom, an independent backroom, which has the chat and bookmarking capability that is required in the backroom. And this is directly available. Your clients don't have to log into another platform or anything like that. They get a link, They access the link, boom, they are in the back room, right? Flowres also brings together features researchers use often, right? Like creating video clips and reels, distributing incentives, doing analysis of the transcripts that have been generated, doing the automated transcription itself, right? And it brings them all together so that from the interview stage to the analysis, right, your journey is completely seamless. You have minimal handoffs and minimal overheads, right? Of course, data privacy concerns are significant, right? The conversation, especially around AI, is never complete without bringing that up, right? So I'd like to tell you that Flowres is in complete compliance with global norms such as GDPR for data security and privacy. We are also certified in the gold standard ISO 27001 standard. And we've built the platform of very, very reliable AWS infrastructure. So it's robust and it gives you significantly high uptime, right? We have data processing agreements in place with all the LLM providers out there so that we ensure that our client data never goes towards training the model. In fact, you are in control of all the data that you upload there, and you can just delete it at any time, and you can be sure that it's clean off the platform. There are no remnants anywhere. In fact, ISO also has launched the 42,000 standard, and Jiten is very clear that we need to get certified on that standards as soon as we can. So that's already a lot of work for some of us in the organization. Now, without much ado, let's look at the platform itself. I will just play a small, it's a video demo. And this is a quick demo that will talk to you about the platform without necessarily jumping around with the multiple windows and stuff. Just stop me if you can't hear the audio or you can't see what I'm
When you sign up for Flowres, you will be greeted with a screen where a project is automatically created for you, which you can rename. To get started, click Schedule Meeting to create a Zoom session. Once the meeting is created, you can invite participants and simultaneous translators. In Links tab, you can copy and share the participant link with participants. You can share the backroom link with clients and moderator link with internal and external moderators. External moderators can start the Zoom meeting with host permission without needing to sign into your Zoom account. You can connect your calendar with Flowres with our project email address. When you invite the project email while scheduling meetings, all meetings getting scheduled will automatically appear on Flowres. Clients can access Backroom without signing up on Flowres. The Backroom feature allows clients and moderators to chat with each other privately without the participants seeing the conversation. Clients can also listen to interpreted audio within Backroom by switching audio channels. Everyone in Backroom can capture Eureka moments. When you capture Eureka moment, a 30-second clip is automatically saved around that moment and can be given to identify those moments. When you sign up for Flowres, you will be greeted with a switch between different if you have taken or if the session is go to analyze transcript vocabulary. You can even feature-rich text can be given to identify those moments. After the meeting, you will find the recording here. Flowres offers a feature-rich transcription editor with search and replace functions, quick navigation, and editing shortcuts. In fact, to make the transcription more accurate, you can add project-specific custom vocabulary. You can even cut clips by selecting tag and then choose multiple clips to create a reel. For analyzing your data, go to Analyze Transcripts. If the session is done on Flowres, you can import the corrected transcript from Transcription Editor. Or if the session is done offline, outside Flowres, you can upload your audio or video or even human transcripts. If you have taken notes while conducting fieldwork, and if they are in Excel, you can upload them here. Flowres can distinguish between different respondents by automatically creating different Word files for each of them. You have two ways to analyze data: chat, which mimics a one-on-one conversation, or grid, which provides an Excel-like interface for summarizing each transcript. You can find citations for each result just with a click. These citations highlight the most relevant part of the transcript, and additionally, you have the option to see and hear the relevant part of the conversation as a video clip. With Flowres AI, you can provide segments metadata to all your files and then compare the segments. And there is more. You can send customized reminders, automated tech checks, IVR reminder calls, as well as pay incentives to all your participants. With Flowres, you can collaborate by adding team members to your project and work together on that project. All Flowres meetings are supported with a live support for complete peace of mind. While Flowres is completely DIY, all users can avail one-on-one onboarding when getting started. Book a quick call with us to know more.
Perfect. Our demo just doesn't stop here, right? There are a lot of other things that are there, but this kind of followed the critical path that you need to know in terms of setting up the project, using the back room. There are also stuff like automatically redacting personally identifiable information. There are ways and means to export and share the Q&A that you're doing with the platform and things of that nature. A lot of features built in, and at any point in time, if you feel that you want a more thorough demonstration which is customized to you, just reach out to either of us. Right now, actually, let's switch gears a little bit and see why a couple of our clients are saying that Flowres really works for them. Let's have a look at that.
It's been great. Everybody on my team that has used it has continued to use it after their first try. I'm regularly hearing internally that it's, from people that it's their new favorite platform. And I also just had a client about a week ago who had done a multi-market project using Flowres, come back and do another project. And she expressed yesterday to me how it's making things so much easier than the platform we were using for them before. I've been a qualitative project manager for over 15 years, and I have, especially since the pandemic, I've used just about every platform or vetted it. And I'm choosing to use Flowres because it doesn't require that high cost to our clients, which helps us win more work, and it has every feature that we would need.
Right, that was Shannon from NRGMR. She has been using Flowres for well over a year now, and she is absolutely thrilled with how it has turned out for the entire organization at large. Here's another one from Idil. She is based in the United States and she is an independent consultant. Oh, sorry. Again, I messed up. There we go. Yep. Idil will come right up.
In terms of analyzing the data, I just loved the ability to capture the aggregate trends. So at midpoint, I started asking and probing questions I had in my head, but then when we wrapped up the interviews, I was able to take the same questions from the interview guideline that I had posed to the participants and asked it to that collective set of 20 plus interviews. Mm-hmm. So the data was getting probed with the same questions. Mm-hmm. And from that, I was able to catch nuances. It was really helpful for me to be able to see the thread and the corresponding quotes. And then I probed a lot in terms of, based on what I was seeing in terms of quotes that would represent or match up to something that I was noticing or that I had heard during the interviews. So that it was really a useful tool in terms of digging in, uncovering, and then discovering, and then also it helped with my writing process. I wrote both a report and a white paper from it. It really helped with the narrative in terms of just providing the substance that I needed to weave in. I put things in my own words, and it's my own intellect that's analyzing and putting things into context. But in terms of discovery, it was really great.
And the next slide is going to show you something interesting. So, this talks to the GenAI capabilities of Flowres. And one of our, dear dear researchers based in the US, Dean Stephens, actually compared us with 5 popular platforms. He considered 3 parameters: ease of use, quality of the insights, and the usability of the reports that are being generated from it. And for across all 3, he found that the output that Flowres provided was the closest to the human analysis he was comparing with. And in terms of ease of use, well, he did find it very easy to use. And I think that's feedback that we are hearing across the board, that it's a very intuitive and clean interface to use. And I think that concludes my talking bit of this lunch and learn session. So thank you very much for your attention. And now let's just dive right into the questions, Annabelle. And anyone has any questions they haven't written down, please pipe in.
Okay, so who's got some questions for Manish and Jitan? Okay, so I might kick us off then. I've got a question for you. I'm just interested to know as well, like, where is the data? So I'm not sure where you're based. So where is the data for this based, and is it GDPR compliant?
So data is, if I can take that up, Manish, data is stored for US clients. It is stored in US. For European client, it is stored in Europe. It is GDPR. We are GDPR compliant. Uh, we are in fact HIPAA compliant as well as ISO 27001 certified. So basically, GDPR or HIPAA is just a law and a guideline in terms of how a company should behave. But then, they don't really, then there should be someone who should check and say whether, are you doing what you are saying? And that's where ISO 27001 comes in. So, they kind of audit the organization, and, we have the certificate, after those audits.
Okay, lovely. Thank you. So what other questions have we got? One of you lovely lot, I'm sure, has got a question. Was it all super straightforward? Okay, I've got another question for you then. Oh, here we go. How does the translation work? Michelle is asking.
Sure.
So,
I can take that. Okay.
sure,
Go
Manish, go ahead.
Go ahead.
So, there is we can do like 19 languages right now. It covers most of the European languages, and you will directly see the English transcript. So, regardless of whatever the language is, if you upload if the session is conducted on Flowres, and if that language is supported, you will see the English transcript on your dashboard. Yes, Spanish is one of the languages.
Yes.
Okay. Who else has got a question? So what is the cost? Lynn's asking. I had to say I was wondering that as well. So what is the cost?
Manish, you want to take that up?
Yeah, why don't you answer that till I pull up this special offer we have for the ICG members?
Sure. So there is for the entire platform, it's $65 for an IDI. So it's a credit-based system. One credit is $65. Uh, 2 credits is $130. So for focus group, you require 2 credits. For IDI, you require 1 credit. If you want to use Flowres only for let's say analysis, then that is just $10 per transcript. And if you want to use Flowres only for backroom, that is $60. And that's pay as you go. Now, if you that's where you start, and then if you like it, there is a subscription plan available, which is significantly cheaper, where your cost of credit can go up to 30 USD.
So
Right.
Michelle's asking, so is the cost based on a per group and depth interview, and are there any discounts for scale?
Yes, so there is a discount for scale. That's where the subscription comes in. Um, subscription is basically if you monthly subscription is $400. If you pay monthly basis, it becomes $300 if you know pay on annual basis. And for um each month you get 10 credits. If you don't use those credits, that gets rollover. So let's say you have conducted something in, you haven't conducted anything in May, your 10 credits will get rollover in June.
Okay, so I think that's quite a lot of numbers and figures to kind of get your head around. Someone said, can you put the cost down there? But I think as well, what Michelle probably meant is before you get to a point where you want to subscribe because you know it, the chances are you would be working on it in a project that say has more than one or two groups. But if you wanted to use it for, and you had a project say that was 10 groups, would you still be paying the individual cost per group? Or if it's for 10 groups, would you then forget it for a little bit? Would you get some kind of economies of scale within the one project?
So if you have 10 groups, I think what you can do is you can take the monthly subscription. That's just $400. And that will give you 10 credits. You will need 10 more credits. You can buy it at the same cost of $40 a credit. So essentially your cost for conducting the focus group comes down from $130 to $80. I hope that's clear.
It's all probably a lot of figures and a lot of numbers. And does it depend how long a group is? So someone is saying, what's the cost for one group that takes 2 hours? Is that the same cost as a group for an hour and a half?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, right. So I think the costs are probably a little bit confusing. But Manish said he's going to send us
I'll send the pricing
pricing
to
page in
everybody.
an email.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure whether that's going to people on here or whether you send that over to Lucy and she disseminates it. It's probably the best thing to do.
I will send the
What can I just ask, what would you say is the kind of like it seems like it does a lot of jobs and it's just quite a lot of tasks to take in. Um, what would you say is really your sort of core function? What would you say is the thing that you really do, like is your real sort of the driver of the business?
I think people come to us mainly for two things. Either they are using Zoom and they want backroom for their participants,
Mm.
um, or they like our generative AI solution. They have heard from somewhere and uh, they want to use generative AI on whatever fieldwork that they have conducted. And for a lot of other folks, it's combination of both. It's they want to conduct the entire process at one place because essentially you don't have to since everything is happening on Flowres, you don't have to upload and download file
Mm.
several times.
Okay, brilliant. What other questions have we got, people? Oh, this is a very important question. Is there a 24/7 help desk if encountering any issues?
So there is a 24/5 help desk, which is basically 5 weekdays is where
Mhm.
you will get. Um, the maximum response time is 5 minutes. Manish will send you a pricing sheet where it is clearly mentioned. If you still feel that someone needs to be present during your focus group or depth interview, uh, there is a premium support available. That's again 50 USD additional for the depth interview and 125 USD for focus group. I understand
Yeah.
I'm throwing a lot of numbers, so maybe I'll keep that part aside. But essentially, uh, there is a help desk available where you can reach out and someone will answer within 5 minutes. And then if you need someone to help you during your process constantly, that help is available. We don't recommend because you don't need it. But in case you are anxious and you want it, that option is made available.
Brilliant. Okay. So, do we have a last question? Anyone a last question? Or should we thank Manish and Jiten for their time? And presumably as well. So Lucy says she's going to disseminate the pricing list and the list of languages with everyone who's expressed an interest or, will come on here been in part of this lunch and learn. And presumably as well, then that'll have all the information they need if they need to get hold of you as well.
There
I
is one
think there is a
question.
last.
The Nestor is asking if we need to share the Zoom password for the integration to work. The answer is no. In fact, you can sign up right now and it's an easy one-click process for you to connect your Zoom account to Flowres. And it's completely in your control. We don't need to get involved in the process anyway.
So just to add into what Manish said, we are a Zoom approved app. So you can go to a Zoom marketplace and kind of get into Flowres. Or when you come to Flowres and sign up, first time when you are scheduling meeting, we will ask you to integrate your Zoom account. So from Flowres, once you uh, log into your Zoom account, where you're not giving us password, you are actually logging into your Zoom account, is when we get access for whatever Zoom has authorized us to get the access for, which is basically just the recording part and kind of fetching your recording and starting the meeting part.
Yeah, in fact, it's very similar to what you do when you log into different platforms using your Google credentials or your Office 365 credentials.
Exactly.
So it's entirely yours.
Brilliant. Sorry that I missed that question, Ernesto. So has anyone, have we got another last question? Brilliant. Okay. Well, I'm sure if you've got any more questions, you can get in touch with them. There'll be details as well about Flowres on our sponsors page on the ICG as well website. So thank you very much, Manish and Jiten, for sharing your wonderful product with us. And we're getting lots of people saying, thank you and really interesting and looking forward to getting the information. So I'm sure that you'll get some people in touch. So thank you very much.
Thanks everyone. Thanks
My
for
pleasure.
giving us
Have a
time.
good day.
You have a wonderful rest
You
of your
too.
day. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.